Namaste, Acharya ji.
Namaste.
Uh, uh, I've been listening to you since 2020, and for past 4 months, I joined the Gita session. And thank you so much for the Rohit for doing his due diligence that make sure that we are consistent with the attendance. Um, and I've been reflecting on a point that you have made about that we share sensory capacity and the ability to make moral decisions. It has led to me that wonder why it's for some individuals, a single incident can catalyze a profound shift toward their ethical action. Sorry, I'm really nervous. Whereas for other, even presented with the overwhelming evidence for mass production of animal consumption or destroying our planet, they remain entrenched in their current behavior. For an example, for me, a single incident was made me decision that I have to go vegan, and I need to do as much as I can to my capabilities to protect the environment and spread the awareness. But for some people, there is so much data outside, and they watch all these documentaries. Still, they say I'm in the process, but in this process, they continue to like uh, moving toward distraction. So I just wanted to know that in what factor, in your view, contribute to this kind of disparities that they know that they are causing all the problem and suffering, but they still continue to do that. So I just can't comprehend sometimes because even within my family, that no matter how much I try to convince them, uh, they don't want to listen. The most they will say that maybe you have studied so much, that's why tera dimag pagal ho gaya. So
See, the reason is just diversity in Prakriti. There is physical conditioning and there is social conditioning. There is no other reason. Uh, you can raise an animal. Take an example. You can raise an animal on a diet that's not staple to it. And the animal, for the sake of its survival, might adjust to this kind of non-staple diet. But even then, years later, if one day, for the first time, the animal gets a chance to return to what it's biologically made for, it will immediately take the opportunity. And then you will say, see, some people learn with such little instruction. They are so eager and prompt to take the cue. It's coming a bit from their body. And similarly, it can come from all the mental stuff that we absorb over the years. Different people have gone through different experiences, and that changes their receptivity towards improvement. So these two things are there, but what overrides both the physical and the social conditioning is your capacity, your desire to really change, be free, be liberated. If that is there, then it does not matter how strong your bonds of conditioning are. And that again is something you cannot always dictate. That desire to be uplifted is a matter of love. And it cannot be dictated, commanded, cultivated, organized. If it happens, it happens. It's a matter of the person's choice. So these 2+1 factors are there. How you are from the body, how you have been receiving your experiences since birth. And the third point is somewhat of a mystery. Is there love in your heart? Do you want to make difficult choices? These three things are there. What to do then if people do not listen? What to do if they are very strongly physically and socially conditioned and are showing very little evidence of any spark of love? The answer is a bit similar to the one that I gave to our previous participant. Please defocus. Your aim is to save the animals, not just to improve your family. Your love is directed towards animal welfare, not family welfare. And animals are being consumed by 7 billion people on this planet. More than that. Why target only 4 or 5 of your family members? Why not work in a more general way? Maybe there are people right at the edge, just waiting to be converted. Low-hanging fruits, as we call them. Why not pick them first? As they say, what's the point flogging a dead horse? There are people who might not listen to you their entire life, even if you break your head against them. And a fraction of that energy, if invested on the right candidate, would have yielded far better results. We want to save animals. We don't want to just save a few of our family members from wrongdoing. So that's the way to go. And remember, in the 3 points that we said, a fellow can be blamed only for the third one. Only the third one is a choice. And it's a very sovereign choice. For point 1 and 2, that person cannot even be blamed. Who has control over his physical composition? You cannot turn a lion vegetarian. I'm not saying you cannot turn a human being vegetarian. But just to make a point. So it's a very strong thing, physical conditioning. People are made differently. Diversity is Prakriti. Some people will always be outliers without any credit or offense to them. It's just a thing of normal distribution.
Yeah. So my question along the line was, it was not more so for just the family member. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So it was not just for the family member. I kind of gave up on them. They will come along when they come along. It was more for, so since I became vegan, I started the animal rights movement in New York City. So we do a lot of campaigning, and Christspiracy was also was showed in local theater, and I saw you too. I was so excited to see you. So after that, we conducted a little survey among the people that why people wanted to, the facts are out there, but they just completely wanted to deny it. They are afraid to see the facts, and at the same time, they're in the process. So that was more towards like the overall general population, that they know whatever they are doing, it's wrong, but they still wanted to continue. But for some people, it's easy to see the fact. Just for me, like I saw, so I was not vegetarian. I used to consume chicken occasionally. And when I adopted a cat, the question came to me that how can I love my cat, but at the same time I'm consuming a chicken or a fish? So that decision, like overnight, that I completely make a decision that to go vegan. But for some reason, for other people, it's not easy. Even they went to the theater, they saw the movie and they saw the history, but still it's difficult for them. So
No, when you say other people, the other people are an entire spectrum. I talked of the normal Gaussian distribution. Catch those who are relatively more ready currently. Start there. What else can be done? You see, if we reach out to so many million people, in fact, billion. And then this conversation becomes possible. Filter after filter after filter ultimately yields a handful who are ready. And that's the nature of this process. It starts slowly and then gains disproportionate momentum, rises exponentially. The first few wins are always extraordinarily difficult. And then you do not even realize when the tide has turned your way. It happens. The point is to just keep working without letting sentiments impede your energy. You have to be very logical in this. Emotionality and logic do not go together, but compassion needs a lot of logic. When you are compassionate, then you will be brutally logical. And you will say it's about saving animals and let me see what is the best way to save them. If this fellow doesn't want to listen, I'll speak to somebody else. I'll look at the data, I'll analyze it, and I'll figure out the segment that's going to be more receptive. I'll approach them. I'll do all my maths. And I'll be very scientific in the way I need to approach them. We do that every day. We know how tough it is. I'm not trivializing your problem. I understand. But I also know how to go about it. Or little bit of it within my limits. I mean, a 0.1% success rate, we don't mind that. Even those who fill up the form to get connected to the courses run by the foundation, even among them, the ones who really opt in, the rate is 3%, 5%, 10% if we are lucky. And we know it's going to be that way. That's the rule of the game. No, you could as well say, I don't want to play the game. But if you want to play the game, then you'll have to play by the rules. These are the rules. Just keep throwing the ball at the wall. It does happen that something called quantum tunneling. One particular attempt, the ball goes through.
Waiting for that day.
Yeah. And call also rhymes well with all this, no? One particular attempt, the call goes through. Just keep trying. There is no other way. You cannot not try. You have to just keep trying. There is no other way. Use all your resources, all your mental acumen, all your education, all your logical ability. Press it to the service of the right cause. We have no space for disappointment. Disappointment is an energy dissipator, and you will have massive reasons to be disappointed. It's very important to not to let that disappointment consume your energy.
Definitely continue to try, and then you are the strength behind all of us, the young generation, to make a difference. And being a healthcare provider, I try my best to give them that you really don't need all these animal products to keep yourself healthy. But again, it's just really hard. This is the society, and they've been conditioned, especially in the US. Like you will see a laughing cow picture on the cheese marketed, or a laughing pig on a fork. So it's hard. It's because they don't know where the food is coming from. So it's really hard to show the real picture. So the thing we can try to educate people, that especially the little kids, ask yourself where the food is coming from, see the reality, and then you make a difference. Then you make a decision that whether you wanted to choose the right over wrong. So this is the strategy.
It will show results, but in its own way. We do not know how and in which way things will fructify. Just keep doing the right thing. Just keep doing the right. If you're doing the right thing, it is impossible that the right results won't come. But they don't always come in ways we expect. So don't expect. Just do. Continue to fight. I'm glad.